Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is Morning Musings, and my name is Don K. Preston of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. I'm sharing some thoughts in response to a viewer request about 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. One day is with the Lord as 1,000 years is as a day. And virtually all futurists, those who believe in a yet future coming of the Lord, judgment, and resurrection, when they come to the New Testament time statements that those things were near in the first century, they almost always appeal to 2 Peter chapter 3 to say, well, look, time doesn't mean anything to God. So even when we read those time statements that God himself caused to be made, we're not supposed to pay any attention to them. Time statements didn't mean anything to God. Well, I don't know if you've ever noticed Luke chapter 21 and verse 8, in which Jesus said, "Take heed that you do not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, I am Christ, or I am he. Do not believe them." Notice what else they'll say. "And the time has drawn near." Did you catch that? Jesus said, and he warned about being deceived. Because he said, there will many who will come saying, I am he, and the end or the time has drawn near. Now, who's with Jesus here? Peter, Andrew, James, and John, right? This is the Olivet Discourse. Jesus said men were going to come making premature declarations of the nearness of the end. By the way, notice that Jesus said these men would say, pardon me, the time has drawn near. That's kairos. The appointed time has drawn near. Jesus said, do not believe them. So, Jesus condemned making premature declarations that the appointed time of the end had drawn near. Now, I want you to catch the power of this. James, who may not be the James that was with Jesus, but he was an inspired apostle anyway, said, the coming of the Lord has drawn near. Catch this. Peter, who was with Jesus, who heard him warn against premature declarations of the end of men, who warned against saying, the appointed time has drawn near, said, the end of all things has drawn near. John, who was with Jesus and heard him warn against making or believing premature declarations that the appointed time, kairos, had drawn near, was instructed by the Father himself to write, the time, kairos, is at hand. Oh boy. Peter, James, and John wrote those things 2,000 years ago. And the Lord hadn't come yet, according to the modern philosophy of things, according to the traditional philosophy of things. I'd say that's a bit premature, wouldn't you? Now watch. Jesus condemned making, or believing obviously, premature declarations of the end. The very men who were there with him that day, who heard him condemn making or believing premature declarations of the end, who heard him say, false teachers will say the appointed time has drawn near. Peter, James, and John all said, the end has drawn near. Now, folks, watch this. Jesus said to those same men, he gave them the signs of the end, and then he said, when you see all of these things come to pass, then know that that's the end, is near, even at the door. So here are the men who heard Jesus warn against making premature declarations of the end, but who gave them signs of the end, whereby when they saw those signs, they could know the end was near. Those men then declared, the end has drawn near. Now, folks, either the signs appeared, and those apostles and disciples were right to declare the coming of the Lord has drawn near, the end of all things has drawn near. They were either right about that, or Peter, James, and John became some of the very false teachers that Jesus warned them about. Because after all, he said, don't believe, therefore don't make premature declarations that the end has drawn near. Yet all three of those men said the end had drawn near 2,000 years ago. You see, God himself was telling them that. If time statements don't mean anything, then there are no such things as premature declarations of the end. But Jesus said there were premature declarations of the end. Hey, don't forget, I'm offering a free copy of my book, Can God Tell Time, to viewers of YouTube. Go to my websites, www.eschatology.org or BibleProphecy.com, and send me an email. Say that you saw the offer on YouTube and that you would like to have a copy of Can God Tell Time. No obligation, no shipping, no handling, nothing. Totally free book. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. We'll see you on the flip side.